Hey there. So, sitting here looking at all the news and hearing about all your alcohol issues and stuff. And it's interesting that nobody seems to understand how government officials actually get things done because they certainly don't. They outsource it. So, people who work for them are the ones who actually do the work. And considering that I have employed literally thousands of people in addition to the countless thousands of people that I have housed at some point, and millions of people I've educated over the past 50 years. I'm really quite disheartened to see that nobody seems to be taking anything seriously at a higher level. So, when you steal from an employer, and that employer is me, as a military member, I don't prosecute. I order my military to kill people. So let me be very clear. I don't like being stalked. I took care of your children while you were off doing your drugs and your sex and your lottery and stuff. When you spend government money as a welfare case or a refugee on drugs, on lotto, on alcohol, it's actually against the law. And since you're using my money that I invested and that I had to sacrifice for, and that my family died for, and you continuously put hate things all over the place, this is a public notice on my system, my broadcast system that you've all been listening to and jacking off to your whole lives. Um, you robbed me. You're guilty. So here's what's happening because I'm too fucking old and in pain to have to go through all the international processes that I have to make sure you don't live any longer. You're in my properties. You haven't paid rent. You haven't paid taxes. You have been evicted and you keep chasing me everywhere I go. That doesn't work for me. So here's today's report on business. This is the date. And since you love playing hostage taker, I'm teaching you some things right now. I don't care. This is my building. Is my capital fund that spent it. Get out, Auslanders. See how easy that is? Now, we have a very official Ontario Lotto behind us. And did you know what happens when somebody hits it big on the lotto? You should read about it, but not on my blog because I am an oblate of St. Joseph as Catholic. And I was assaulted in the basement of St. Joseph's in Gatineau this past Sunday during a mass I was trying to pray at by African nationals who have been in my custody as an officer of the law in the province of Ontario. I quit that job in 2014 after you murdered my grandfather and my cat. I have been living on the streets here, having had everything stolen, as you laugh and laugh and laugh. I don't find you pretty and I don't find you cute. And maybe my husband does, but we've been married 29 years, going on 30. And he was never faithful to me before we met. So he was an escaped predator from Ontario who defrauded the United States government and joined the US Army, where he met me after already having been in the Canadian Forces. So I'm not going to explain how all that works, but I don't live in this country. And you have systematically robbed me of everything and every way to get home to where I do live, where I have a bank. So, this is today's report on business. I went to the local bank that I had to deal with while I was living in this country and where I had invested and put money beside to open up my clinic as a doctor, an Israeli doctor. But instead, I always have to be touched by your doctors and things like that. And I'm not interested. So when we came here 50 years ago, and I was registered with an identification number as a Canadian citizen, I was supposed to get support. But you keep creating new rules and new support structures for folks after you steal from me. And that's not working for me. So for the Ontario Disability Support Program, let me be very clear. I'm not going to another fucking doctor for you. I don't know who the children's aids workers were that dealt with me and my brother when we were young and in this country, but they did not do their jobs. My family has paid ultimate prices and then some. There is no worse place in the world for a Jew than Canada. You are being sued for hate crimes. And the more you make us talk and get angry and beg you, the more of you will die. I don't care about your stories about Gaza or whatever. I am the most senior imam in the fucking world. So I don't have a phone anymore to call because you stole my phone and you stole my identity. So whoever the fuck wants to start putting money back into my account, now's a really good time to do that. I am autistic. I have lupus. I have been diagnosed by Dr. Julie Lum while I was working for the provincial government of Canada as having complex post-traumatic stress disorder. You did this, Ontario. So I am not playing with you. Nobody has contacted me. I don't know who is manning all the emails. But I am tired of funding your worldwide coordinated criminal activity. Jade Maloney, I found the rapist that made you. Happy now? Jade Maloney is a young person that asked to live with me in British Columbia, who's a pimp. And she did not work out well in my house. And I had to have her removed because Anne Marie was there, a vulnerable child. I reported everything in British Columbia, all the way up to the top. But that just brought more pain and suffering for me. I worked as a youth services officer and a correctional officer to investigate and figure out what is wrong with this system. And I know what's wrong. But nobody's paying me to share that. You're just stealing it. So again, Christopher Robert Polakowski, please be aware that Governor Abbott's office is much, much more interactive with me than your bullshit government in Canada. To the gang squad that I am working with, please be advised that Ontario is non-responsive. To the Vatican, please do not give the Aboriginals anything else back. It is a coordinated effort to rob the Catholic Church. They have desecrated everything that we have ever done. I don't live here. I need help getting out of here. So, Ford Canada, be advised, I was sold vehicles that were used for human and drug and animal trafficking. I need a replacement. Also, be advised that had my husband not tried to murder me in Germany, my international driver's license would not have expired. The only time anything has ever expired in my life is due to violence, coordinated criminal activity. This is a public service announcement for international trade. This is me. This was me at 15. This is me on April 19th, 1997, after this man, an Algonquin native and Polish national, who is very violent and hates anything of God, and informed me recently he doesn't believe in God. He's a sex offender, and I'm tired of being chased by his friends and family while he lives it up somewhere else. My family and I don't deserve it. And I'll take my mother as my offender any day and twice on Sundays over him. So again, Mr. Abbott, I purchased a Ford Transit 350 black from a Ford dealer in the state of Texas, where I experienced extreme distress by one Heather Robertson Bartos and her collective group of Christina Klingers and Christopher Polakowskis. Dishonorable discharges from the United States military are kind of my specialty. So, again, James Stephen Hunko Jr., comptroller for the Marines, is my chosen escort back to safety in the United States of America. This is a picture of him. That's King James. King James Powell no longer exists. I don't know why. It's none of my business. He was my sort of foster father. Nobody had me on the books. I was a kidnapped child. I never got services. As I said earlier, and I'll say again for anyone who did not catch that broadcast, the name Nicole Holland is a registered trade name for business. I am an actress, performer, a model who has not been paid. Other people have used my identity to defraud whoever they've been doing. I have tried to reasonably and respectfully deal with the world, but you have demonstrated it's impossible. And when you killed my grandfather in 2014 and my service animal from Germany in 2014 and forced me out of my job and would not let me buy a restaurant, that was the Brown tribe of Brampton. I am not dealing with you anymore. I dealt with you my entire life. Get the fuck out of my properties. If you are not Jewish or Catholic by birth and by life, you are not welcome in my world. As far as all of the technologies that rich kids come up with, all of it's garbage. Meta, it's garbage. It was built for sex offenders to find me, to kill me. Why you're still playing with it is beyond me. You're talking about ChatGPT as if you know what it means. No, open source software allows people to build on it. And I've only ever been exploited. So, I'm Holy Ghost Ministries founder and hostage, Israeli intelligence, Oblates of St. Joseph. My husband's email address is Charlie Sierra Kilo India, the number 3, at Papa Romeo Oscar Tango Oscar November dot Mike Echo. Either somebody needs to go get him and bring him to me to have a conversation so he can take me back to the United States so we can deal with the military situation that we have, or somebody can fucking chop his head off. I don't really care. But if you do that, make sure you kill everything, because I don't babysit for free.